All right. Hello, Midlothian ISD. I'm live on location at Heritage High School, and we are going to start our community update with our very own soccer state champs. Ladies, say hello to the community of Midlothian. First of all, we want to say congratulations to these ladies. I had the opportunity to come out here and speak to a few groups, and they happened to come in and take some time out of their lunch break. So we are so MISD proud of the work that they have done. This is a second soccer state championship for this team. Coach Slovacek, say hello.
Hello.
It is his second gold medal with the Heritage Jaguar soccer team. So we're very excited to have them. Is Jules in here? Come here, Jules. This is our state champion MVP, Jules Burrow. And by the way, she's a freshman. So congratulations to all of you. The community of Midlothian is so proud. Thank you for coming in for just a short moment to go live on Facebook. So you can check Facebook later. You'll see us on here. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Thank you, Tipton. All right. So I'm going to stay in here in the gym, and we're going to cover this community update. I've got, let's see, next week on Thursday night, entire community is invited. At 6 p.m. at the Heritage Stadium, and we look forward to seeing you there. And so we're so glad those ladies got to come join us for a few minutes today. All right, so we also have some MISD proud moments. The Methodist Midlothian Hospital thanked our CTE health science students at MHS this week. Students participating in the program donated 300 books this year to the hospital for new parents to take home in an effort to promote the importance of literacy. Our health science students will continue donating books to this program each year, so thank you so much for that partnership. Congratulations also to 5 MHS wrestlers who are headed to the state wrestling tournament this weekend in Houston. Congratulations to MHS golfer Tiffany Chow for advancing to the state golf tournament as the Region 2 individual champion. And one last MISD proud reminder, your virtual Teacher and Employee of the Year celebration is tonight at 6 p.m. on the MISD Facebook page. Also, take a few minutes and recognize their amazing teachers and staff members by posting a sweet comment about their work with kids. And so again, that'll be tonight at 6 p.m. on the MISD Facebook page. Okay, also on our agenda today, we have MISD School Board met in regular session on Monday night with the following actions. We had congratulations to our newest principals in MISD. Kara Wendell will be our new principal in charge of opening elementary number 8. And Corey Jones will be the new urban elementary principal. Mrs. Wendell has been with MISD for several years, and most recently, she's been serving as the assistant principal at Miller Elementary. And Mrs. Jones is coming to us from our current principalship in Kennedale ISD. So congratulations and welcome. We celebrated during recognitions on Monday night our military appointments for Midlothian High School. Landon Buford has been appointed to the Naval Academy. Max Allen has been appointed to the Air Force Academy. Caleb Tompkins has been appointed to the Air Force Academy. Corbin Green has been appointed to the Air Force Academy. And we recognized our lone 2021 National Merit finalist from Heritage High School, senior Lauren Sims. Lauren was one of 7,500 students from more than 4.5 million high school juniors last year nationwide to score at a certain level on the PSAT and MSQT. So congratulations to Lauren. We also recognized Monday night our MHS state powerlifting team and the Heritage Girls State Soccer Champions. Under consent agenda, the board approved the overall budget of $29,591,903 for elementary number 8 and named Imperial Construction to build this newest MISD campus, and we should start seeing work done around May 1st. The board approved summer roofing projects for 6 facilities. Facilities receiving roofing replacements this summer will be Baxter Elementary, Frank Seal Middle School, C. Randall Hill Support Center, the Mile Jenkins Early Learning Center, DAEP, and Mills Administration. Additional information such as the schedule will be announced pending contracts being signed. The board also approved the purchase of 3 special ed buses for the coming year. The board approved the first round of furniture and technology items for the Heritage High School classroom wings, which are expected to begin being available during the fall next year. And all of the renovations and additions to Heritage High School will be ready by August of 22. Also approved were the 21-22 staff contracts, and also the student dress code was approved with no changes from this current year. During our information-only session of the board meeting, the Virtual Learning Committee presented their findings and recommendations for next year, pending legislative action and future board approval if virtual learning is something the district chooses to offer in 21-22. There were 65 staff members on it, including teachers from each campus and campus administrators. During discussion and action items, our demographer delivered the fourth quarter 2020 housing and growth report, and I'm going to cover some of those interesting findings in our The More You Know series in just a moment. The board also approved the zoning recommendations as presented. Those will go into effect for the 22-23 school year, so not this upcoming fall, but the following fall. Ms. Karen Fitzgerald facilitated this process over the past several months, and she will be on our meeting in just a few moments to share more details. During the COVID update, the board deliberated on masks and face coverings. It was approved to begin allowing face shields as a mitigation measure, so students and staff can now wear either a face shield or a face mask each day, and this is in effect for the remainder of the school year. Beyond June 1st will be handled at the May board meeting. Culinary arts students at the Mile Bistro have been cooking up a delicious menu all year. Today and then next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are the last days they will be open this school year. The menu's available at the Mile on the social media pages. You can also call and place orders between 9 and 10 a.m. or during their open business hours of 11:45 to 1 for curbside delivery. At this time, I would like to ask Ms. Karen Fitzgerald to join us. I'm going to promote her on here on the Zoom call so she can join us and share some slides with you. All right, Ms. Fitzgerald, you should be ready to go, and then you should have a co-host mode to be able to share slides. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Carpenter. I'm going to share my screen, so just give me 1 minute while we make this happen. Share button, that would be helpful. Okay, so I'm going to go over just really briefly a few of the slides that our community committee presented to our board of trustees on Monday night. So Ms. Boyd, Mr. Gonzalez, and Mr. Pena were the three who came to share some of the committee's final recommendation for board approval. So to kind of give you an overview, this has been a long and big process, and so we just wanted to take a few minutes to provide that information to you. Most importantly, this was a community committee process comprised of parents and staff to review and provide recommendations for elementary, possible middle school modifications, and new high school zones due to the expansion of Heritage 8. The board did approve some parameters for the community committee, and these four include balancing of enrollment, keeping neighborhoods and subdivisions intact. We want our friends to stay together as much as possible, leveraging natural boundaries as much as possible of what makes sense for these boundaries, and I'm just reviewing and following our district policy on grandfathering options. Here is our timeline. As you can see, this has been quite time intensive. The committee started October 19th and wrapped up April 19th at the Board of Trustees meeting. All the areas shaded in yellow were modifications made to the timeline due to snowbid, as we like to say, but this was the overall timeline. So you're asking, how did this community committee come together and who represented me? So that's a great question if that's what you're thinking. We had about 26 individuals join us. And what we did is we had 3 representatives from each elementary zone. So we try to select 2 from larger subdivisions and 1 from a rural or smaller subdivision. This was a lottery process. So anybody who wanted to participate could put their name in. You may have received lots of emails early fall about joining and participating, as well as social media. We took all of those who wanted to join, we put them in a bucket, and Mr. Norris was our Vanna White, as we like to say, and he drew names. We also made sure that the matrix, that we weren't pulling more names than necessary from each feeder, from each elementary feeder. As I said, we had 3 only. And then of course, making sure larger and small subdivisions were well represented. We did include principals, one elementary, one middle, one high, at least from all of our campuses to participate. We also had athletic and fine arts coordinators because every program is touched in this rezoning discussion. Now, mind you, all of the individuals who represented those zones, they're to make decisions at large. Their primary role is to serve as a liaison from their community area that they live and reside to the overall committee to share what's on the hearts and minds, and to see what they could do to minimize any sort of transition. So here's our committee. And again, all of these slides are available on our website as well if you'd like to watch. So the committee did ask for community input. They asked it over several days. So here are the results of that input. Out of 10,000 families, 3.8% participated in our thought exchange. As you might know and recall, that we provided two options, one in the at lunchtime and one in the evening that was completely virtual for anybody to participate and provide their thoughts. Also, we gave an in-person option where anybody could come and share their opinions on it. 0.07% participated in that effort. And as far as emails, 0.18% sent in an email regarding their thoughts and feedback. So those are the overall input results. The committee took several days to review the input and come up with different options. But let's just start with our elementary options. They reviewed 3 total. They selected the best that fit the board parameters. And within those board parameters, achieves balance best. It also supports growth for the next 6 years and minimize campus splits to the best of their ability from elementary to middle. That was really at the heart of this committee. And they really wanted to add some form of a foundation feeder system for the long haul. They really wanted to make a long-term imprint to the best of their ability without moving a lot of students in the future to the best of their ability. So here is the original recommendation that was brought to the community, and also the final recommendation to the board. And so you can see that map. I'm not going to go into all those details regarding what really is where, because that is on our site for you to review as you see fit and fits your time. For our middle school options, overall, they reviewed 4 middle school options. They did take a look at all the community input. The feedback was primarily from the portion of the Baxter school zone. And based upon that feedback, how would that address if they made those changes? And we will show you the additional options they did look at based upon input. But the positives, they definitely would have selected a map that had chosen parent feedback in that area. The concerns were transportation and efficiency as far as running bus routes and being efficient in that. It would also create additional campus splits outside of Baxter. We would have had Long Branch. And overall, they wanted to really minimize those splits. They know it's very hard for our families in Baxter to make that change, but they really were mindful as far as making sure the changes for Baxter. There's a lot of friends that would go on to the middle school. Here was the map they looked at based upon community input. And here is basically what they wanted to recommend. Here's what they recommended. So for a feeder foundation, middle school boundaries are based on the proposed elementary 8 recommendation. Here's the feeder approach. Frank Steele Middle School, Irvin and Petoskey, Walnut Grove, Baxter and McClatchy and Long Branch. And then of course, Dietrich, Mountain Peak, Miller and elementary number 8. So here was to the best of their ability of what they came up with as far as the rationale. Here's the original and final recommendation they presented to the board. And you can see that it's evenly balanced to the best of their ability across Frank Steele, Walnut Grove, and Dietrich Middle School. So for high school options, they reviewed 5 options. There were pros and cons to those options as well. And they also looked at community input. Here's one option they looked at on option 4 based upon community input. And this would have been the split for those 2 schools for option 4. However, they also explored option 5, and this is option 5, and this is the split that they looked at as well. So which one did they go with? Which actually that was option 3. And option 3 was the original and final recommendation. And as you can see, it really pretty much balances the enrollment on both campuses for Midlothian and Heritage, as well as our economically disadvantaged students. So I'm going to be quiet for just a few minutes. I want to show the three options, elementary, middle, and high. And as you just look at the lines and how it's a very holistic approach, how elementary really feeds into middle and middle feeds into high to the best of this committee's ability. So here's elementary, feeds into middle, and feeds into high school. And so those are the three options. Again, these goes into effect for the 22-23 school year. All this information is also on our website. And more information is coming to the parents and families who are impacted by this decision. Dr. Carpenter, I'm going to stop the share and turn it back over to you.
Okay, thank you. So in today's The More You Know series, let's talk about the demographers report. That's really the report on future growth in Midlothian and Midlothian ISD. Enrollment growth continues to be driven by a surging new home market. The annual start rates for new homes climbed to a record high in 2020 with 944 starts. 684 new homes were occupied. Those were closings. That's a 10% increase for year on year end. District's median new home price now stands at $360,211. That's a 4.3% year over year increase. Developers delivered a record of 1,176 new single family lots in MISD in 2020, plus 152 new apartments. We had 1,530 vacant single family lots that are still remaining at the end of December in 2020. We have 1,434 future single family lots are currently under development in the district, and developers are planning an additional 13,000 plus future single family lots. So combined, there are currently 16,800 single family lots in process or in planning in the district. MISD could see nearly 5,000 new homes occupied over the next 5 years and 9,700 homes by the fall of 2030. Our active new home subdivisions in MISD are currently yielding 0.64 enrolled students per year, with 363 future apartment units that are currently in process and being planned in our district. Our apartments in MISD are currently yielding 0.26 enrolled students per household. Residential construction and development projected to drive MISD enrollment growth up by an average of 3.4% annually over the next 5 years. But with the uncertainty of the current COVID-19 environment, district enrollment will likely remain in the 9,900 to 10,500 student range over the next 2 years. MISD enrollment could surpass 11,000 students by 2024 and 13,000 students by 2028 if growth returns to that 3 to 4% annual rate. Also, you may have heard our district launched the Hear It, See It, Stop It initiative, our improved reporting system. Your student received a card to put in their school ID badge, just one of these, and also posters are hanging throughout the district to make it easy for students to report any concern. Also, on our front page of the website, any page you look at, there is a link as well. So if you see it or hear it, you can stop it. And next week, we begin our kindergarten and pre-K enrollment promotion. So if you or you know of someone who is of age to be a kindergartner next year in Midlothian, encourage the family to join our social media platforms and follow us on our website. Everything you ever wanted to know about kindergarten and pre-kindergarten will go live. And one last piece of information for all of our parents looking for summer camp fun for your elementary to middle schoolers, our athletic camps are back. Check your social media for the latest information along with your MISD Connect newsletter emailed out to you yesterday. That is all that we have for today. Have a wonderful rest of the week.